Hey guys, Ryan here from Indy Wrestling School, and yes, I bought another ring. Anybody who's keeping track, that makes 5. We're going to talk about why I did this, and why you might want to consider doing it for your wrestling company coming up. Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. If you're new here, please consider subscribing below. We put out new videos every single Thursday for 3 Minute Thursday. Yes, I bought another ring, and I know I've talked about this on the channel before, and I kind of said, you know, I don't think I'll ever end up owning another ring because I've owned so many in the past. If you're new to the channel, please check out one of the other videos I put out. It's basically how I lost 2 complete rings along with Steve Carino at certain points, and not only did I lose them, I lost them in sections. So if you haven't checked that video out, please watch it. It's a totally true story. It's not a pro wrestling story that's exaggerated. 100% the truth. So what led me to buying this ring is right now we're renting a ring, and we were renting from somebody who charged us a decent price, but it was still one of the more expensive aspects of running the show. And unfortunately, he moved and took the ring along with him, obviously, down to Florida. So we had to find a new company to rent the ring out, and unfortunately, the company we were going to be renting was charging quite a bit more, and then I was able to work out a deal with somebody else who was charging quite a bit less, and it was actually a great deal for us all around. However, during this whole thing, my mind started going that, you know, if we had our own ring, it would cost us $100-200 bucks to rent a U-Haul, and that's the only cost we would have with the ring. Sure, it sucks, you have to put up the ring and everything, but that's kind of the belly of the beast, right? So in between finding the better deal that I found, I had reached out to a couple people that I know and said, hey, if you ever find anybody who's selling a ring, please let me know, we're looking for one. And I had gotten a request from somebody saying, hey, look, Jim Molyneux from ECW is selling a ring. I jumped at it. I called him immediately. I got his number through mutual friends, and we spoke, we worked out a deal, and then 2 weeks later, we went and picked up the ring. There was like 4 of us there. Unfortunately, the truck we picked it up in was not made for this, so it was quite a headache getting it in there, but I think all things considered, it worked out. And you know, if you're looking to start a pro wrestling company and you come into an opportunity to get a ring at a decent price, I would say go for it, because if you're looking to do this long term, you got to factor in, you know, the ring rental costs this much, but if I rent a ring and I'm paying for a storage truck, it costs this much. So how many shows do I need to do before it makes sense to buy a ring? So that math needs to get done by you and figured out exactly what works best for your situation, because everybody's different. Everybody's got their own way of doing things. Maybe you have a ring rental crew that, you know, is doing it for 50 bucks, or maybe you have a free ring. So in that case, no, it doesn't make sense to buy a ring. But for our case, it made sense, and we're hoping, you know, this is a good investment for us and it leads to a lot of success. And also, you want to be careful too, right? When you're buying a ring, you got to make sure it's somebody reputable. You got to make sure that all the welds are solid, the wood is decent, and the padding is still in good shape. And then, of course, the outside stuff like the ropes and, you know, the curtains and everything like that, and the apron, you all want to be clean, and if not, clean yourself. So those are just a couple things to keep in mind if you're looking to go out and buy a ring. Everybody always asks me, where can you buy a ring? Obviously, it's just a simple Google search, pro wrestling rings for sale. Typically, I find that they're generally really high priced when they're brand new, but you can go to highspots.com, you can go to Monster Pro Wrestling Rings, and they both sell wrestling rings. Again, they're super expensive when they're brand new, but that's all because of the materials that it costs to make a ring, and those are 2 of the more reputable people selling rings. So if you're gonna buy from anybody, it doesn't hurt to take a look at those 2 companies. If you can get it in an aftermarket deal where, you know, somebody's selling a used ring and it makes sense and it's a good quality ring, I say go for it. The other thing you want to find out is who made that ring, so you know you have a reference point for who made it, because if it's something they made themselves, you definitely don't want it. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, please beat the shit out of the like button, and we'll see you next week for 3 Minute Thursday.